Today's going to be fun. We have two estate sales in the same city that sound very different from one another. These sales are both being run by the same outfit. One of them says it's a bunch of exclusive stuff and one is Lifetime Collector. I think this is the Lifetime Collector. It's been going for a couple hours. Let's see what there is. This guy's going home with someone. This is a neat piece. Niloic. Definitely an older piece. The lettering being exposed is different. $18. It may well be worth $36 or more.
I don't know the circumstances until you ask if I hit. I can tell you.
Artificial animals. These are little pieces done of Peking glass. Tiger is cute, $7. They got a whole bunch of these. They look like they were done in the 60s or 70s. 7 might seem like a lot, but actually, for this style with the boxes, there was a customer for these, and I think you could make money. Plastic resin collectibles, not really my thing. Chinese sewing basket, but the handle's broken. Nice little lemon server from the Depression glass era. This is a reproduction. Feels greasy. No wear. It's just not made right. The rest of this is legit.
Well, it's all the way back there behind me, or
Uranium glass, $8. Little Nalaji pot is $6. Doggy candy container is $3. This looks Eastern European. Uno cots. Wow, this little house is really packed. Oh, a stenograph. Be a red court reporter. The seller's kitchen queen is neat. Wonder how much they have on that. I sold one for $200 recently, which was cheap, but mine was painted. It didn't have the sifter or a good top. I think I'll have to, oh, there's the price. $175, that is not bad. Black Kewpie. Kewpies were one of the first dolls made where the black and the white doll look the same. It's got the Rosie O'Neill Kewpie mark on the bottom. Right after she got the patent, she went to Germany and personally supervised the doll's production to make sure that they matched her patent. $6. Now they made them like this with this style writing on it probably through the late 20s, early 30s. I think it may be a later edition, but that is a good price. Celluloid top hair receiver.
I can get a box or something for you if you'd like. A bag? Okay.
Glass basket with the lettering here. This is a little later in time. Like probably 1980s or 90s. Kloss Creek. Oh yes, the follow-up to the yearling. Kloss Creek is an area in Florida where this author lived, and she had very interesting experiences living out on a farm there for about 7 or 8 years. And this tells all about it. That might sell in Florida. Little enamel box. Not the most refined painting, but it does have the city and artist names on it from Russia. Yes, Rostov. The people there were very thrilled when the Iron Curtain fell to finally be able to sell these to the West, and a lot of collectors have really responded, so there's a big market here now. Well, we'll find out the price. I don't have a lot of call for this pattern in Depression glass. They have a lot of it, though.
3x7 for your chance to win.
Including the salad bowl, which is a little harder to find. Later lamp. This place is really packed with people, so I can't really stand back and show you, but it is really packed with stuff. Collection of the artist, Wendy Tom, 1982. That's actually pretty fun. The artist must have been a collector as well. $4 on the English toffee tin. People are definitely buying these.
I know how much it's going to be.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Lots of 1980s era. Raggedy Anns. Costumes. Cupies.
Oh, don't mind me. Just like walk around me.
Oh, no, you have fun.
Okay.
See what we have for comics here. Number 50. Somebody got these a long time ago. When I got to shop with Dom from Primetime Treasure Hunter, he was telling me that he really tries to fill out whole series of these, because if you have a whole series, there are collectors who just want to buy it as one fell swoop and you can get more money. I have a bunch of these Green Lanterns already, but I'm only getting $6 a piece and they're not fast. But some of these with low numbers would be pretty desirable if the price is right. I don't see any that really fall into that category. Hockey cards, football cards, basketball cards. A friend of mine helps me list a lot of sports cards on my eBay store site, but he says to get the older versions.
I can scoot these toys.
Nice little linen press.
Just waiting away here.
Oh no, you're doing fine. Baseball. More baseball. Wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a gentleman here earlier and just bought a whole bunch of them.
Oh, I imagine, yes. I'm trying not to get in the way of the staff member who is pricing more merchandise. This place is so full. They're still working on it even though the sale is going. Yeah, if I see any that are my friend's era, I'll get them for him. It's not that some of the newer cards aren't of value. Some of them are of very high value, but they're made mainly for older collectors, and I'm looking for the ones that people had when they were kids. Old sewing machine, a little bigger than a featherweight there. Lots of useful sewing stuff. You got your work cut out there for you, Doc.
Yeah, so after lunch, put the prices down a little bit.
Bag of buttons.
Busy hands are happy hands, right?
That's right. Very 70s looking. My mother had something similar to this. I don't think her top was as flower powered though.
He used to write in courtrooms.
Annie fabric from the time of the movie. Hardy Boys. Wow, tons of books. Toy section's been gone through a little bit. This person clearly liked childhood collectibles or things that they recognized as being for youth, so that was a big feature of this sale, clearly. Eastern European and Legoland. Lots of tea sets, but so much of this is newer. And that's why you're seeing it still sitting here, even though they've had a lot of people here today already. $7 and $9 on the 70s era cars. This is a fairly modest size 1950s or 60s house with 3 bedrooms perhaps, so it's tight. Let's see what this print is. Oh, Beethoven. My teddy bear land and doll land, but again, so much of this is newer. Some of the Campbell's soup ones would sell, but the prices are a little more than I'm willing to pay. Cabbage Cat. Baby. Looks like he has something on his face. Sadly, so many of these collector dolls from this era just don't have a following now. Folk dolls are cute, but they just don't sell well. Collector bears. This market was so big in the 90s, but not so much now. There was a woman in Snohomish who had a shop full, and she would get $35 to $150 a piece for them new. Boyd's bears. I mean, you see prices of $8. These were selling for $30 and $40 when they were new. A lot of newer dolls as well.
Oh no, I'm good at doing stuff myself. Well,
and more bears. A few of these sell still, but very few compared to the number that were made. Cute little girls' christening dresses.
oh,
Hair dolls. This one looks like
Beautiful.
Hard plastic, probably early 50s. Somebody bought the bill. Let's see how much. This is from about 1900. Only $75. No wonder this bed sold. That's a great price. This looks like some of the fun purses I see some of our folks like Yvonne Thrifty Rich sporting. Not old yet, but a future collectible. Afghan looks like it was used a lot. There's a lot of pilling.
This thing is only $6.
See how much this is. Whoa, Orbis, okay. Not vintage. This isn't vintage even though it says it. So everything here is crazy.
Isn't it?
Pink depression. This will glow under a black light. Oh, and $7. Well, if there's no damage, I guess we'll put that in the pile. Now this has 7 on it too. It's amber. And they just don't have a lot of collectors for this. Is this Cameo, I believe? Yes, that's right, but it might be 1970s tiara design. But it's nice that it has the lid. That's a good price. Poor Pitiful Pearl doll by Horseman, $24. Here's some older guys. These celluloid dolls, $4 each. It's dusty, but that could be fixed. He has patches. He's a little hobo-y, but I think he was made that way. And then this one is some sort of a drum major. Oh, but the back of his head is a little poked in. That can be hard to correct. Doll parts. John Wayne by F&B, $15. This might be one that would actually sell, because there might be a collector other than a doll collector. A lot of these F&B dolls and Madame Alexander's that were done later were done for people like this who are older people collecting, so kids don't have an attachment to them. Some more little dresses. Oh, this one's newer, made in the Philippines, but cute embroidery for a doll. Okay, we have a wash stand here. The mirror's kind of going. Hi, everybody. But it has the bar here for the towel. The proportions look strange when you don't have a towel on it, but that was the purpose. Nice peach luster piece here. Demitas set, but they're a little hard to sell. Oh, Sorrento box. Let's see if this plays music. Oh, it does, and only $8. The way we were. But sadly, it is overwound. Even though Royga made decent music boxes, they do tend to get overwound, and then they just won't do anything. Cute little lady's side chair with the carving and this nice detail in the back from about 1890. But they just sit really low because the women were a lot shorter back then. Like a Mary Ingebrigtsen umbrella. I see a Hummel bell on that table. There's some Hummel plates, but they don't sell. $29 on this applique. Let's see if we can tell anything about its age. Oh, yeah. It's a Martha Stewart. Nice quality, though. Right, let's see what is out back. This house is pretty packed for being small. Bird baths, wire furniture, but not really old. Bottom to a treadle for a sewing machine. There's the Hummel plates. They're only asking $3 each. And then this very pretty dresser with the tall mirror. It's going to date to the 1890s as well. Let's see what we have in the kitchen. I see what looks like a Shawnee pixie planter up here at the wishing well. $12 isn't a bad price. I don't think it's Shawnee now that I look at the bottom, though. Maybe American bisque. All right, I see old and new mixed in. Turkey bowl. Yeah, this is Royal Stafford, a later English piece, but definitely still Staffordshire, England. This is going to come from Alaska. Looks like some sort of an elk bone. $4 is not a bad price on those. Ah, JFK was president when that was made. Nice 1930s little set here. A relish with all the little individual setting pieces with the lusterware. Looks Japanese from about 1935. $10 on the set. We're not too far from Boeing. This shows a lot of their 1980s era jets. This is awfully cute. I think there's just so much in here that people didn't notice some of these things. Yeah, made in Japan, 1930s, $2. And it is a little sauce dish shaped like a bird. It's just a little dirty on top. We can fix that. Yeah, I think we'll take that.
I don't think you want us pressure.
Okay, let's see if this jar has any age. It's made to look it, but it's actually made in Indonesia, so no. St. Joseph's assures purity. That's old. How old? Let's see if we can tell. The seam stops at the collar, so this is actually going to be right around 1900. Little nut grinder. Ah, yes, some of these late 70s, early 80s canisters here, but they're kind of worn.
Me, I thought you were.
Lots of newer teacups and saucers by Lennox. Butterfly Meadow. And some older 1930s Depression glass iced tea stems. And an old bread box, but a little worn. Let's see if this has any age. I'm doubting it, looking at the casting. We'll check out the cast iron. 28 and 32, they'd have to be something pretty good. It's Wagner. That's an okay price, but pretty much retail for that piece for me. Some Indies Cobalt glass. I see a Pottery Craft chicken casserole. I think I've got that already though. I think this is going to say Carbone on the bottom. I believe Hall made these for another company. Yes, there's the Carbone bark. $10 is not a bad price, but I have one of these and it has sat for a long time. And then here is the Pottery Craft version from the 1970s. $10 on that as well, but I already have that piece. Crock Tot, a piece of Wade, number 62, in the apple. I still think this stuff is cute. You have to price it pretty cheaply these days, but it has no tag, so I have a feeling it might be. We'll take it up and see. Red Fiesta, this is after 1986, so lead-free, $8. An old ricer here. $5 on that is a pretty good deal. $2 each on hankies. They're cute, nothing exceptional. Ooh, a pair of feet if you need them. Boyd's Bear Villages. Simple Dream and Lysol and basic things. Ah, some more Namaji pieces. These are larger. And the blue color is attractive. Oh, that one has a chip though. 44. I have a feeling we meant 4. 44? Well, maybe they do. More Mary Ingebrigt style. A big doll. Ah, there's the box for the 12-piece Butterfly Meadow set by Lennox. Only it's $54 in the box. For an 18-piece set would be a great price, or $54. For a 12-piece, it's an okay price. But I don't think I really need it. Quaker Oats tin. These were done in the 70s as a sort of giveaway, kind of a retro thing with an oatmeal cookie recipe on the bottom. Yes, 1980 limited edition. Keepsake ornaments by Hallmark. You really have to know what you're looking for with those. One Nancy Drew mystery. An older one. The older ones are the ones people seem to want. The concise edition of The Art of Mickey Mouse. Their less concise editions worth a bunch of money. $4 on an original Rubik's Cube. Davy Crockett book. The old battery tester with W.C. Fields' nose, but it's missing the thing we need. Shalimar bottle, but it's missing its stopper. All right, let's see what we have here. Coca-Cola from Asia. This is cute, but $11 is more than I want to pay. 1976. Look at him, be crabby all day. That's great. 14. I'm not sure if that's a price I could pay, but I like her. I wouldn't usually think to pay $14, but I haven't seen her anywhere. The Westland plastic ones are selling for $30 and up. And this is 1971. I think I'm going to give her a try. We got some good deals on other stuff. We can wash it out if it's too much. Some Star Wars stuff. Pieces and parts, it mainly looks like. I'm sure if there was anything complete, it probably went this morning. Lots of boxed Christmas recent collectibles. Old grinders. This one we don't see as much. This one we see all the time. $4 on these hockey cards from around 1980. People still not wearing helmets at that time. Yeah, Bic lighters and wallpaper tools and seat covers, but Wagner power steamer, but nothing I need for resale. Well, I don't usually do car top haul videos, but I wanted to show you I got these 7 items and they averaged less than $5 a piece. So we're going to put these in the car and then we're going to go to the next sale. All right, while I get my bearings to figure out where the next place is, please click that thumbs up to let YouTube know you're enjoying this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do that, and then you can click the bell to be notified of future videos. Well, we're headed the right way. We are not going to a garage sale, but the garage sale signs are out. So maybe we will stop at 1 or 2 along the way to this estate sale. I bet a lot of people came to this sale early because this is Picnic Point. This is a very nice area with wonderful views. It was developed in the 1980s and 90s. And there is the reason why. Someone's having a garage sale on the same street as the estate sale, so I think we're going to get a twofer. These huge flowering bushes you see are rhododendrons. That is the state flower. They're related to azaleas, but here they're really, really big. Garage sale looks really small, but I see one thing from the curb that I like, so we're going to go look really fast. Hello. Oh, the old Betty Crocker picture cookbook. That's a good one. But the pages have gotten wet and wrinkled. Here's the thing I saw from the card that made me stop. It's a feather pen from the 60s. It's only 50 cents. It needs a little work. Needs new guts, but I think we can find that, yeah? All right, so we got the feather pen. Now we're going to the estate sale. Well, we missed the big crowds, but hopefully we didn't miss all the good stuff. We'll see. All right, well, you said this house had a lot of stuff. There's the same picture that I just got at their other sale for $12, and it's $20 here. Where you buy makes a difference. $12 on the false wrap jar. Kate Smith's favorite recipes, and I think she had a few. They do have different crews because they run sometimes 3 and 4 sales a weekend, and I imagine that they price based on the neighborhood, which makes some sense. This is a Steuben piece. When you have a house that just has Steuben pieces as their regular vases, you're inclined to price up. Pretty etching. Plated pieces. These have a nice shape. Better quality silver plate that has a nice shape to it. Seems like it's starting to sell to decorators, even if they're just hanging it on walls as art installations. It's interesting to see people how they're reusing things. Keystone silver plate. 85 on this 12-place setting. Definitely a 1930s pattern. I see tile work like this that's sometimes Japanese and sometimes in Danish tables. Very 70s looking. These are out of the late 50s, early 60s, 20 for the set. You don't see the dogwood pattern as much as you see the cores and things. These look like they could be Scandinavian made or possibly Bohemian Central Europe. I'm finding similarities between some of those designs. Just looking to see if any of these have brand names. Occasionally there'll be Waterford crystal or that sort of thing, and then they're money. Knife wrist. This is depression glass, but very plain. Really like the green Pyrex color. 26 on this colored with the lid. 28 on the 30s era refrigerator dish. Aratake Sharon pattern. 165 for all of it. All right, well, there is a big old interesting lump of Murano glass. I like the way it's pulled. $34. I just don't think I could get 70. This is nicely threaded. Handmade piece. I don't see a price on that. Maybe we'll ask. The Fenton piece, this is a good color, $15. Pretty standard piece. This will be Pilgrim glass, $8. You notice there isn't a ton of stuff packed in this house. Decorating seemed like it was sparser in this era. I like the cut to clear on this. And there's a cider jug with all of its mugs for $26 for the set. That seems pretty good. This is going to be Nippon. I can tell by the way it's painted. And indeed, there is the mark. The painting's kind of loose on this particular one, but there's some raised enameling, so those are clues. This might be Yadro. No, this one is actually Saphir. Another Spanish maker. Very late 70s, early 80s blocky oak smoke glass and interestingly upholstered set. This actually looks like it might be comfortable. Japanese design has definitely had an influence in the Northwest, so you see these a lot. Asian dogwood screen hung on the wall there. There's another rhododendron outside. We'll have to go back there in a minute. A lot of more recent Asian pieces. India brass. I do want to take a look at this one down here, just to see if it's a studio maker, but it is not. This one, on the other hand, may be, but it's not anybody important. Rattan chairs have both an Asian and a Golden Girls style. Big fine mirror. Now the clock is antique. This looks like something from about, well, the clock has an antique look, but it's Howard Miller. A lot of the stuff that's fancy in this house is sort of newer fancy. It may be we missed out on some older things. I see some sold tags. Now this looks like it's going to be Northwest Piljet glass. They're asking $145. The colors look like 90s. I looked at the bottom and I do not see a signature though. Scandinavian cookery. Some fun pieces, but more contemporary. The butterfly is probably late 70s for 18. I like that it's a butterfly. Tudor 2000. $32 is not bad though. Nice colors. This little lamp here. Mount St. Helens. I bet this is Glass Eye, and I bet this is early when they were still using the Mount St. Helens ash. Until they got in trouble for patent violation and had to drop it out. That might be good. $44 on this. I would say probably Murano for the weight and the style. Eileen Meyer, this is indeed a local Seattle artist painting very realistic still life in the old Dutch style. There's her signature. She did all of these pieces, the pomegranate. Very, very realistic. An Indian Ripper grapefruit, $185. I can see this selling in Florida. They're quite painterly. This is Cambridge Caprice with the silver electroplate, but the electroplate is worn. Up the stairs we go. Definitely something of an Asian feel to this house, not exclusively so, but some. Big heavy piece to look like stone made of concrete. This is interesting. It's a lamp. It's a little warm. alabaster, $54. And that has some age. I'm a little concerned how hot it's burning. I wonder if it's the bulb that they have in it. I'm going to let it cool for a minute and then we'll look at it more closely. $134 on this limited edition. Lenardi scarf for $3. A few other scarves. Pretty patterns. But I like for particular names. Now this one is Vera, polyester Vera. Later, they took the ladybug mark off after she sold the company, and the later pieces don't show it. This would be nice on a table as a runner. $3 on this. Another Northwest glass piece here, $134. This place definitely has a lot of nice pieces that were popular in the 80s and 90s when it was built. Pierce with the herons, $15. That's pretty. I'm liking some of the artware tiles of this era depending where they were made. Wow, 16 years old. Designed by him but made in China. I rather like this lamp for the shades. $124. I'd like to know if the shades are original or later production. Because if it's earlier on a later lamp, I would take this. Okay, we've turned it off. We're going to unscrew these set screws and see if there's a maker name. Really nicely done in the style of the old Cazal shades. It's got that wonderful gold metallic, but there is no name on these, so I do think they're more contemporary, as is the lamp, probably something from the 1980s. I still think at $124 in the right place, if you sold this sort of thing, you could make money on it. I don't have that customer, so we will turn it back on and leave it for someone else to just love and take home, because it is very likable. All right, let's inspect this a little more closely. It's still pretty warm. That's a very small bulb. It is really hot in there. That makes me leery. So I think I'm going to leave it unplugged, and I think I'm going to leave it alone. It's interesting though. I like it. And with this cord, the cloth cord and the old 2-prong plug, I've got to think that this has a fair amount of age. I think this might be Art Deco 1930s. I could see it selling for $120 or more, but with it running this hot, I would be afraid to use it. This is definitely not a particularly full house, but there are some really nice things here. The old Remington Princess. These don't sell, but they're cute to look at. This is trying to look like Lalique or something very fancy. What's that? Oh, and look, it says Lalique right on it. And it is signed Lalique, France. Now, this is interesting. Granted, it's not a fantastically old piece of Lalique, but it's $6 and it's still sitting here at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to take that with me. Sometimes when you see something priced so well, you start thinking, is there something wrong with it? Is it a fake? But no, this is genuine. I like the mirrored box here, but chip in the corner. But wow, I think we just found ourselves a real bargain here. It just goes to show you do not have to rush to be first at an estate sale. If you take your time and you make your way through, you might find something really good. And we get to enjoy this fabulous view of the Olympic Mountains while we shop. Edmonds is right across from Kitsap County, and you can take the ferry over there and then drive up to those beautiful mountains. This dress is kind of cute. Let's see what else they have in here. I like the French cuffs there. That's what you could use to show off your cufflinks. And the way that they turn into a color, that's kind of fun. Doesn't look like it's my size though. Again, the things here are quality. Now we see a lot of this starting to show up in vintage fashion stores. And right after I spotted it, this guy picked it up and put it in his pile, and he's paying $35 for it. All right, coming into this room, Norwegian, probably. We'll take a look at some of these a little more closely. Norwegian-made textiles are popular in this part of the country, but they really want Dale and certain labels. 15 on the cute child's vest from the 50s. Nice knit pieces, but nothing that has a label. Basic embroidery. A very pretty lamp on the floor. It looks older than it is. $85. They say this came from Acapulco in the 1970s. Nice wall hanging. They're asking $235 for it. I'm sure it was all handmade. $24 each for these little tables with the hairpin legs. I like those. They'd be good to use at a show on a table in display, but I'm not sure I would pay that price. Old doily stretcher, that's kind of a cool thing that would be fun to hang in the sewing room. I suppose you could still use it, but it's $38. The table is not as old as it looks. The mirror's nice with the etching though, $17. Out of the 1940s. Timber Bowl, Darrington, Washington. Little lumber town up in the Cascade Mountains. Framed weaving is attractive for $54. Well, let's see here. We have a gardening set. A treasury of the familiar. That's a lot of familiar. Lots of little contemporary stoneware vases. These are Blanco, but they're asking $80, and it's a really plain, very simple set that does not sell for $80. This is a nice piece here. Has some age, $18. Build Alaska calendar for engagements. Let's see what this looks like. 1952, before statehood. It doesn't look like it was used, and it does have some good pictures in it. We'll see how much this is. Horseshoe Lake. I did find a couple of old pin pieces. The one on the left would have had a ribbon, and the one on the right is religious from Iowa from about 1900. All right. Little hardstone piece. But this one's fairly contemporary. Ginger jar looks like it as well. And so is that one. In here we have, ooh, look at this. $7 each. I like that they're champagnes. They have that Reuben glass look. This is maybe the right stopper for that set, $45. Oh, little Culver's. And the one I like is the ice bucket for $24. I don't know whether there's room in that or not. Could it sell for $50? Maybe. And this vase is just fun. I mean, this looks like something from the 90s, but it's $45. But a lot of good color going on there. All right, let's see what else there is. Some silent butlers in copper, $6 and $8 from the 60s. Very nice, simple copper piece there. Okay, this matches that vase, so maybe we can see who hid these. Oh, just decorative, no name. They did sell this furniture, $65 on that, very 80s look. All right, let's look outside really quickly. Some really cool planters. The concrete actually sell pretty well, but they're really fun to move. Same with the bench. This bench is marked 142. Interesting pricing. This is very pretty. Very nice shade. That'd be a great entry light, $34 if you wanted to wire it. That seems like a good deal. Well, I'm so glad we got to see some estate sales in Edmonds. We went to one really packed house and found a lot of really fun, cute things that were overlooked because people didn't see them. And then we came to this house, which was pretty sparse, and found a couple of really good things because I guess people, you know, when a house is more empty, they walk faster, they don't spend as much time looking. And that is a way that you can find good things. So this was a successful day, and I'm glad that you came along with me.
If you enjoyed this video, check out this one. Also, click thumbs up to like this video and check the description for information about our Patreon, our memberships. We've got a lot of different levels with different perks and bonus videos and early content. Also, please do check out our website, theantiquenomad.com, for appraisal help. And we'll see you again for more adventures in the antique and vintage community soon. Bye for now.